If you're seeing this video, that means that you have placed your order for your manifestation. Your manifestation is on its way. It's being delivered to you, and you don't need to know what the date is. So imagine it and think of it in these terms. When you go onto Amazon and you place an order for something that you would like, and you pay for it, and then it tells you what date it's gonna come. You have put your order in, but you don't know what date it's gonna come. And that's okay. You don't need to know that. You refocus your attention on something entirely different. You've already put your order in. Your order is already set. It's on its way to you. You don't need to stress. You don't need to worry about if it's gonna come. You know it's gonna come. Have you ever ordered something from Amazon that didn't show up? Maybe like 1 in a million. Maybe like 1 in a million. If you go on Amazon right now and you put an order in, are you gonna doubt that that's coming to you? When you place your order for your manifestation, when you go to sleep at night, you need to have the same feeling as that. And how this assists you, how you can get assistance with this, is knowing that you're living in a simulation. And what I'm gonna give you in this video is a technique, an exercise that I use to know that I'm living in a simulation. Because when you have certain beliefs and experiences and you believe something and consent to it being true, it's going to manipulate this simulation and gonna bring it to you. And when you know that you're living in a simulation, you are gonna jump leaps and bounds ahead of everybody else, and you're gonna have every one of your manifestations come true. Because you release your anxiety, you release your stress, you release all of this fear, everything that you're doubting. You no longer doubt anything. You don't need to doubt it. Why would you doubt it? You're living in a simulation. You're living in a world that you created to experience a life, experience greatness, experience peace, love, harmony. I am whole, perfect, strong, powerful, loving, harmonious, and happy. This is the world that you have created. So put your order in. Know that you're living in a simulation. Release and let go after you have impressed the subconscious mind. You've fallen asleep with something. You're creating something. Let it go. Refocus your attention on something else. You know it's coming. It's just like placing an order. You know it's on its way to you. You're not thinking about it. When you order something on Amazon, are you thinking about it? Are you thinking about whether they shipped it or not? No, you're not. You know they shipped it. The subconscious mind works the same way. It's on its way to you. But when you start doubting it, you start disbelieving it, you start doing this, you start doing that, that can cause disturbances, that can cause reactions, that can cause it not to come to you. Have the expectancy, because expectancy is also another way to manifest great things to come into your life. Even though you don't have the feeling that you already have it right now in your current, conception of self, you're still expecting that to happen. So it's still drawing that to you. You currently have the feeling that it's on its way to you, and you don't doubt that. You know that that's happening right now. You know it's on its way. And when you have that feeling, that's another way to use the law of assumption. Even though you're not in the feeling that you already have it, but you kind of already do, because you know that it's coming. Like, you know it. Like, you put your order in, you know that thing's coming to you. You know that they're not messing that order up, and it's on its way to you. So remember that when you're falling asleep and pressing the subconscious mind and you nail it, you know that it's coming. And that's the feeling that you're gonna have when you have properly impressed the subconscious mind as well. But the exercise that I wanna give you is this. I want you to take 5 pieces of paper. This is something that I do, and I still have these pieces of paper in certain specific locations that I'm gonna cover right now. I got a piece of paper. This is what I want you to do. Get a piece of paper, and I want you to write on it with a pen. And I want you to write down, I know that I'm living in a simulation. I can let go of my manifestations. I don't need to fear. I don't need to have anxiety. I don't need to stress. I don't need to react, because I know that my world isn't real. It is a high-tech simulated game that is controlled from my imagination and my feeling states and what I consent to being true. And I want you to write it. It doesn't have to be exactly like that, but something that you feel, something that's very, that brings that feeling out in you when you're writing it. And then and after you write it one time, I want you to read it 30 times over in the present moment. And I want you to leave a deep imprint within the subconscious mind with this feeling. And you're gonna feel it as you're reading this. You're reading it. I know I'm living in a simulation. I know I'm living in a simulation. I know I'm living in a simulation, and I can control it with my imagination. And you write this down, and then you fold that one up, and then you write it again. You write it on 5 different pieces of paper, and then you fold all of them up. And then I want you to put each one of those, like, in your office, like places that you spend a lot of time. In your office, in your car, by your bed. Definitely have one by your bedside, okay? 110%. That's like the main thing. In your office, where you spend a lot of time. in your pocket, in your purse, in your wallet, wherever, okay? And you never have to read this again. You're just reading it that one time. So you have made the impression. You have made the imprint with the subconscious mind because you read it 30 times and you felt that. You know what it feels like. So every time that you're at your desk or you're going to sleep and you just see the note, you just see it, fold it up, it's instantly gonna have the connection with the subconscious mind. That feeling is gonna come back, and that reminder and that habit of you knowing that you're living in a simulation is gonna come back every time that you see that. And through repetition, you're developing new beliefs in what you consent to being true of your world. So you don't have to read it. You can if you want, but you really don't need to. Every time you see that note folded up, you know what it says. You know that it's about you living in a simulation, and you know that you're breaking free from that. So that's developing a new habit within you. And as you do this, within just a few days, you're gonna start to see magical things happen, where you're gonna start unlocking your potential. You're gonna be in flow state. You're gonna find out that you're not reacting as much as you used to. You're not stressing as much as you used to. You have less fear. All of a sudden, your debt's gonna start disappearing. All of a sudden, you're gonna have more money coming in. Why? Because you have solidified a new belief. Whether that's slowly, but you're growing, you're leveling up your character, knowing that you're living in a simulation, and you're releasing your stress, whether you know it or not. This is the most simple way to do this. Like it was stated in the Bible, the double-minded man is unstable in all of his ways. When someone looks in the mirror, and as soon as they look away, they forget what they looked like. That is the same thing, forgetting. You watch these videos, you cover these topics, and then you go back to your daily life, and then you forget again. You forget you're living in a simulation. You go right back to square one again. This keeps it in your mind throughout the day. You're gonna see this all the time, 50 times a day. You're gonna make that imprint. As soon as you see the note, boom, it's gonna connect with the subconscious imprint that you made, that you know you're living in a simulation, and you're gonna stop reacting. You're gonna start being magnetic. You're gonna slowly, maybe sometimes even quickly, start figuring out that you're in flow state more often. And this is why you have become magnetic and new things are coming into your life. Okay, so write this down on 5 pieces. Even you can do 10 if you wanted. Or if you only have 2 or 3 places that you spend a lot of time, just keep it in those 2 or 3 places. But when you write it out, I want you to read it 30 to 50 times in the present moment. I know I'm living in a simulation. I know my world isn't real. I know that I don't have to stress out. I know that I don't have to fear anymore. I created this reality for the appeasement of loneliness, to experience a beautiful, wonderful life. Everything is working out for me perfectly, and I can control it. Write this out and feel it and reread it that first time, and impress the subconscious mind in the present moment with that, you consenting to that being true of your world. And then that connection with that imprint you've made in the subconscious mind in the present moment as you are reading it. Every time you see that note, it's going to impress, it's going to touch on that imprint that you already made. And it's going to develop that habit back in your mind to where you're going to remember. It's a reminder. It reminds you. So instead of looking in the mirror one time, and then as soon as you look away, you forget what you look like. Now you're constantly looking in the mirror, and you know that you're living in a simulation 50 to 100 times a day. And eventually you're going to wake up in the morning. You're not going to need the note anymore. You're already going to be connected. You already know you're living in a simulation, and your entire life has changed at this point. You notice that you're not reacting. You're not living in fear. You're not stressing as much. You're developing yourself. You are learning how to stay in your wish fulfilled. You don't have all this chaotic stuff going in your mind, because none of that means anything to you anymore. You don't have to deal with that stuff anymore. All this stuff that happened to you in your past, all that stuff is your superpower. It happened for your benefit. Let it all go. Let it all go. Be your new person. You are brand new to the world. You were just born. And now you can experience a new life, knowing you're living in a simulation. You know, whatever you imagine, the feeling states that you create, outpicture themselves in your world. And whatever you're doing, whatever the simulation is telling you can't do, whatever it's telling you can't do, start imagining that you're doing those things. Whatever, if it says you can't walk, you can't run, you can't drive, you can't make money, start counting money, start walking, start driving, start doing all that. You can't drive this kind of car, start driving that kind of car in your imagination. It says you can't live in this house, start living in that house in your imagination. You can't have this business, start running that business in your imagination, and it'll happen. It'll happen, and it'll happen even faster when you start doing this technique, and you start and you start developing this new habit and this new belief within yourself that you're living in a simulation. You're gonna stop overthinking. You're gonna be more childlike, and you're gonna know that it doesn't matter. Your life is meant to enjoy and to love. to love it, to experience. Love is the most powerful energy. It's the most powerful energy. Enlightenment is the most powerful energy. Love and enlightenment. Peace. You're going to find it. You're going to find it. You're going to be magnetic, and you're going to wish you would have found it 20 years ago, 10 years ago. But it doesn't matter, because you found it today, and it's all meant for your benefit. Everything that's happening to you is for your benefit. Experience the beauty and the loveliness and just the excitement of life itself. And the way that you design it is just impeccable. And I got to thank you for designing this. It's absolutely amazing. Just being in this flow state, knowing I'm living in a simulation, not reacting, not having any stress, letting everything go, just becoming one with your true self, your highest self. With your highest self. Let it all go. Let it all go. Stop stressing. You're living in a simulation. It's all a simulated high-tech game that you created. You just erased your memory of it. That's it. But you're back now. Now you remember. And now you're connected to developing and creating and manifesting the world of your dreams. Get into flow state. Get into flow state. You're living in a simulation, and write those notes down. Get back to your highest self by doing this. It's just absolutely amazing, and I just want to encourage everyone from the bottom of my heart, the fullness of my heart, that I want everyone to feel this, to know this. That way, every one of you can experience the greatest life, and there's nothing more that I want, because we're all one. You guys are me. I am you. And we're all one. I love me, I love you. It's the same. We're all the same energy. I love you guys. It feels so good to discuss this. And if you're ever thinking about just making a video or creating your own channel, and you want to just talk about this stuff and get it out, it really just expands. You can just feel it within your heart when you know that people are going to be watching this, and you're helping people, and you're providing this value, something that you know to be true. Just turn on that camera and then tell some people. Tell some people. Get it out there, especially people that want to know. And that's the most exciting part about this. I love you guys, and I'll see you in the next video.